Hi, my name is Matthew Bellisario. Thanks for coming to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel. From the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama, where we talk about music, talk about records, but we also listen to the records. And I'm going to be doing a live needle drop today. I'm going to be opening up this really cool box set that I just got in a few days ago that I've been waiting to come online. I think it came out in 2023 originally. There's only 500 of these box sets. They just came available on Amazon, and I grabbed it when I saw it because I've been waiting for this. I've been listening to this on streaming, a fantastic live recording. And you guys know I love live recordings, live jazz recordings. This is a really cool record. You've got a lot of extended jams on this. I mean, these guys are tearing it up. You've got a great lineup here. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to be doing a lot of playing. So get in, strap in the seatbelt. We're going to be listening to a lot of music on this video because it's 5 LPs. I'm going to play at least a song off at each of the 5 LPs. And these are long tunes. I think there's only 2 tunes that are under 10 minutes on this entire 5 LP set. So this is limited edition, 180 gram box set, 500 numbered copies. And you can see here on the back, the number. So it's number 124 of 500. And you can see here, I'll be talking about the tunes and talking about the personnel here. This is the first time this is on vinyl. It was originally on a 2 CD set. You've got 2 previous unreleased bonus tracks on here there's liner notes in here, comments by Peter. Peter Bernstein is one of my favorite jazz guitar players. This is, again, I've been listening to this streaming in my car for a long time, waiting for this to come on record. You've got unlimited streaming card comes with this, and FLAC high quality downloads for FLAC and MP3. This right here is a reunification of 4 spectacular jazz musicians who recorded 20 years earlier on an album called Signs of Life. This one's called Signs Live, all live music. And this is a reuniting of these musicians, which is Peter Bernstein on guitar, the great pianist Brad Mehldau, bassist Christian McBride, and drummer Gregory Hutchinson. This is an all-star band. This was recorded live by Greg Scholl on January 4th, 2015. It says at the Lincoln Center in New York City. Mixed and mastered by Chris Allen. I'm going to be talking about Peter as I open this up for the first time and show you the box set. And then I'm going to start dropping. I'm going to drop the needle, clean off the records, all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys subscribing, giving the thumbs up. If you missed my interview with Champion Fulton, the fantastic jazz pianist, vocalist, go back and check that out. It's a wonderful interview for those of you interested in actually hearing from the artists, which I want to do more of. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And again, this is one I've been waiting on for quite some time. And when it showed up, I just jumped on it. I was like, I got to get it because I've been listening to it, streaming, and it's a nice sounding live album. And I'm a huge sucker for live albums. And this was not from an interview I saw of Peter on YouTube, and I love to watch these interviews of these different musicians, but apparently this was not supposed to be a record. This was not, it was recorded, but never was expected to see the light of day. And I guess somebody that Peter knew had listened to it and really liked it, and I don't know the full story, but basically said, look, I want to make this into a live record. It came out on a 2 CD set. And Peter, you know, in the interview that I watched, I'd love to talk to him in a little bit more detail about this. But apparently, you know, wasn't convinced that this should have been a live album. And I'm glad that this did come out for a few reasons I'll talk about. Because, you know, a lot of times I'm a musician, not to any level of these guys. I play blues and rock music and write my own tunes or here and there. Anyways, when you're a musician, you hear yourself recorded or you hear something, you know, if I play live and someone records it and we put it on YouTube and I look back at it, I'm like, you know, do I really want people to see that or listen to that? Does my guitar sound good? All that kind of stuff, right? And I see some of that in the interview I watched. Peter was talking about that, like he wished his guitar sounded better on the recording and things like that. But after listening to this now several times, many times, I've been listening to it in my car streaming, that the playing on here is so phenomenal that it would have been a shame not to have this for us real jazz fans out here. So, all right, that's enough of that. Let me open this up. This is on the Smoke Sessions label. You've got just a one-page insert in here with the pictures and a write-up here. So some information about the recording. And then we've got the 5 records, which are all in poly sleeves, it looks like. And I think this was right at $100. So, in my opinion, pretty good bargain for 5 records. And again, this is intense playing here. So we got all 5 records here. I'm going to clean off the first one. We're going to drop it on and listen to it together. And we're going to have a jazz journey tonight. We're going to talk about Peter Bernstein, talk about this band. And we're just going to have a listening marathon on this one. So buckle your seatbelt and be prepared to hang out and watch me bob my head to some great jazz. I know I feel like a DJ sometimes on this channel, but I enjoy sharing this music with you guys. I'd be listening to this on the Fluence RT85 with the Orthophon Blue cartridge, going through a Shitmoney preamp into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. Sometimes I forget to tell you guys that. I mean, it seems like I say it on every video, and I get tired of saying the same thing over and over. But for you newcomers who might not have seen my videos before, I like to tell you what I'm listening to this on. A very mid-level system. So cleaning this off now, as I do with just distilled water. And again, you've got long tunes on here. And I think that's, that's another thing when it comes to jazz records. And this started even back when you had like Duke Ellington at Newport, when George Avakian produced that. And they had to edit down the songs and do different things, because commercially having a 17 or 18 minute song wasn't a smart thing to do commercially. They were making these live record albums so that the average person at home could put it on and listen to several songs. This right here, this whole Blues for Bulgaria here, as you can see, takes up the whole first side. It's 18 minutes. So I'm going to put that on and listen to it. It's fantastic. So let me go ahead and drop the needle. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Peter, a huge part of the jazz scene in New York and abroad since 1989. Born in New York City in '67. Started playing piano when he was 8 and switched to guitar when he was 13. Learning primarily by ear. So let me drop this on and let's have a listen. I hope that these records are quiet. I'm glad that they're on black vinyl. I've got a few of the Smoke Sessions vinyl, and they're usually pretty good, pretty quiet. So a very basic set. You got pretty thick cardboard box here that it's in. There's the band again. Great tunes on this album. I love that all the way through. The majority of the tunes are Peter Bernstein tunes, but you do have a couple of Monk tunes on here as well. It's the first time I'm listening to it ever on the record, and it definitely sounds better than what I hear in the car on streaming, obviously. See, this actually has some pretty good depth and warmth to it as compared to some other modern live recordings. This one sounds really good. The bass punches through. Guitar, I think, sounds okay, you know? It's a nice mix. Listen to his playing, phenomenal. Again, look at the lineup. Apparently this is the first time these guys ever played together, even though they had made that first record. This is the first time they've ever got together to play live. Much punches down the center. Guitar, a little impulse speaker center. Mehldau on the piano is probably a little more to the left side. And the drums are really nicely recorded. They really, you can hear everything nice. Again, nice resonance. Originally was released in 2017 is when this actually came out for the first time. It was recorded in 2015, originally released in 2017, and then this box set came out in 2023. And again, I just saw it available for the first time online a week ago, and I pulled the trigger and got it. Only 500, so if you're interested, get it now. If you like straight ahead jazz, this is fantastic. To me, this is the equivalent of those classic Blue Note lineups happening right now. They're being recorded in in modern times. And it's a shame that these kind of recordings get overlooked. This is, to me, this is destined to be a classic, in my opinion. Classic live recording. I'm gonna let this tune play all the way through, and then I'm gonna clean up the second record. So again, guys, thanks for hanging out. Leave your comments. Let me know if you're into Peter Bernstein, if you've heard of him before, if you have any of his recordings. Unfortunately, most of his stuff is not available on record. It's mostly only on CD, which I think is a shame. I would love to have more of his music on record. So maybe we can convince him to do that. This is a really nice sounding live album. So far, pretty clean vinyl. Flat, no surface noise to speak of. Now, a little bit of history on Peter Bernstein. Born in New York in '67. He went to study at Rutgers University. Went to New York. While he was studying in New York, he met guitarist Jim Hall, who gave him an opportunity to play at the JVC Jazz Festival in 1990. This opened the door with him to play with other musicians such as Lou Donaldson, Jesse Davis, and many other people. His first album came out on the Crisscross label in '94, titled Something's Burnin', which had on it who you're hearing playing right now, Brad Mehldau. He's since released 27 albums as a leader, but he's also played with legends as a sideman with Sonny Rollins, Bobby Hutcherson, George Coleman, Lou Donaldson, Dr. Lonnie Smith, Joshua Redman, Deanna Krall, Lee Konitz, Jimmy Cobb, and has recorded on more than 150 records. So he's got quite the resume, a lot of recording opportunities and playing live. This guy really is a legend, in my opinion. I'm gonna play next Dragonfly, which is again a whole nother side of a record. Side 3. Yeah, I'm digging it. Again, on most record labels, you would never get this released. There's no way most record companies are going to put out a 5 LP set where basically every side of the record is one tune. 18 minutes, or 12 minutes, 19 minutes, 19 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 13 minutes, 8.5 minutes, 14.5 minutes, 14 minutes, 9.5 minutes, 12.5 minutes. So, yeah, this is, a unique box set where everybody got to play what they wanted to play live, and it actually got recorded and got put out on record for us to hear. So to me, that's what jazz is about. And we don't, even a lot of the classic stuff that were quote unquote live always had caveats to them, and this to me is just Everybody doing their thing, recorded live, not even expecting this to come out. And I think that's pretty cool. Listen to Christian McBride. So that gives you an idea there of what you're getting, the length of the songs, and cool stuff. Yeah, this is really one of the nicest live recordings I've heard in a while. It sounds really good. You have just enough of the audience there. It's a nice, clean recording. Gregory Hutchinson on drums. This is one of those records you just kick back, man, put on a side. Really want to get a glass of scotch for this and just... So yeah, he's played on like 4 albums with Eric Alexander. He's played on 4 albums with Lou Donaldson. He's played on Dr. Lonnie Smith, like 4 of his records. Just a ton of people. If you go on and look at his discography, it's pretty impressive. All right, so there's side 1. Here is side 1. And that was Blues for Bulgaria. Just fantastic. Now we're going to go for side 3, play the second record. This is Dragonfly. I really like this tune a lot. And again, a whole side of music. One tune. For those that love jazz. Played on the Afro Blue album with Harold Mayburn. He's played with Nicholas Payton. A couple albums with Sonny Rollins, live albums. So far, these have been nice pressings. Haven't really heard any noise to speak of. They're nice flat pressings. I'm not sure where these are pressed at. Has the little MPO or MPD in the dead wax. I'm not sure what that is. Well, I can't see it, but like MPO. It says made in France, so so I found it on the internet. It's called MPO, which started out in 1957 with just 4 employees. Now has 630 employees and presses records, 40 pressing lines, and it looks like they're located in France. So that's where it's pressed at. It says here that they produce around 22 million records a year. So that's online there. A little bit of trivia for you guys. I'd never heard of that label, so I know a lot of you guys are more up on that stuff than I am. And I love learning for you guys to keep up with that kind of stuff, you know, the pressing plants and all that kind of stuff. I'm more about the music, so I do appreciate all you guys that put the detective work into looking into the pressing plants and the kind of equipment they use and all that kind of stuff. This sounds pretty good though. I have no problem with these pressings at all. Straight ahead jazz fans should love this. I mean, I'm gonna play at least one more record. I like to might play from all 5 of them, but you know, I know a lot of people don't want to see me sit here and bob my head for an hour. But I hope at least you guys get to hear some of the record and can determine whether or not this is something you want to buy. And it's a pretty good sounding pressing. They're flat, and the music is just fantastic. Some new things I've got coming up that I'm going to be reviewing. I am going to be doing a review of this, Miles Davis, the Volume 2, the Blue Note. Got this in. Definitely want to play this for you guys. This kind of an avant-garde album, Kenneth Jimenez or Jimenez, The Sound to Silence. I'm going to be reviewing this. Pretty interesting record, another one of those late night finds. I'm going to be reviewing this fusion record by David Hellbach, Austrian Syndicate. Kind of crazy looking album there. But I'm going to be reviewing this for you fusion fans. This is pretty intense fusion. I still got our Pepper Smack up in the lineup. I do want to review this. Craft. So a lot of jazz stuff coming up. Modes and Blues, Tubby Hayes Quintet. This is on the docket, on the lineup coming up. So that just gives you a few of what's coming up, live reviews. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. All new review drops. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes I'll drop different things on those days. Like today, on this Thursday, the 25th, I did an interview with Champion Fulton, the great pianist and vocalist, and drop that on Thursday. So those Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll kind of reserve those for special different types of videos, maybe unboxings or interviews. I'd like to be doing more interviews, and then I'll do live streams here and there. I still haven't mastered the art of the live stream as far as getting people to show up on those. So if you guys have any recommendations, I don't know if they show up. So I'm subscribed to my own channel so that I can see when things pop up, and I'll schedule like a live, live stream out like 6 hours ahead of time, and I never see it come up. So I don't know if anybody's even seeing those. Maybe I have to do those several days out or something. I have a couple other surprises lined up here that I won't show you yet, but a couple of other things coming up as well. I am getting another shipment from Bird Box Records, another some albums to review, new jazz albums, all analog, coming from Italy. So I'm excited to share those with you. Also, the Atlantic 75th, that stuff will be coming out, I think, the second week in August, something like that. So I'll be doing needle drops on those Atlantic 75th, and this time we got 3 of them coming, I believe. You know, and if you're a jazz musician, this would be something great to jam to. Back when I grew up, the way you learn how to play was to put on records and play along with them. Occasionally, every once in a while, I'll still do that. I play mostly singer-songwriter, rock and blues type stuff. But I would always put on the CD and break out the guitar and play along with the records. And to me, this type of straight-ahead jazz here is something that you could play along with, put on and break out your bass or your guitar or what have you, and play with the greats. Learn, listen, learn the language. It's really a clinic in jazz playing, and just something I can listen to all the time. And again, I've been listening to this in my car for weeks, and actually for over a year, because it was on streaming available. I've been listening to it on and off, again, waiting for it to come available on record, because I saw that it was supposed to come out on record. And I just saw it become available here like a week ago, and I pulled the trigger and bought it, because my luck, it'll be gone. And this is something I really enjoy. If you missed the last review I did, check out the Marquis Hill New Gospel Revisited. I reviewed this on Edition Records. Very good record. I did complain a little bit about the surface noise, a little surface noise on the Edition Records, and their colored vinyl. And my advice would be, if I was Edition Records, would be getting these pressed maybe at this plant or something else. Get rid of the colored vinyl. Just, you know, I mentioned that on this video, but this is a fantastic record. So go check out the review on this. I really dig it. Again, an all-star lineup of guys on this. Almost all Blue Note guys playing on this. Fantastic. review I did on Emma Roberts, this is a fantastic modern record. And she's just getting started. And she's a great composer, great sax player, and this is a fun record, modern jazz. So check this out. Next tune I'm going to play is off of side 5 called Panonica. That's a monk tune, of course, that he wrote for the Baroness. So I'm going to play that and probably close the video out on that since we're going on like 45 minutes. So I know most people have probably long said goodbye, but I wanted to play several of these records for you guys. So again, numbered 500 of these. So if you want them, get them while you can. I'm gonna go ahead and lift the needle here, even though there's still a little bit left there. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the third album. I'm sure you guys have a good idea now of what kind of record this is, and the quality of the pressing is fantastic. Sounds great. It's a nice sounding live recording, and so I'm really happy with this. All right, so here we go, Panonica. Nice poly sleeves, so hats off there. Thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging out and joining me with this wonderful music. Please share it with other people. Most of these reviews, needle drops and stuff, all get demonetized, so I don't get any money on any of those. For the most part, every once in a while I get a shared monetization, but most of these just get demonetized. Even though they probably should be fair use, you know, because I'm doing a review and talking over them and things like that. But no matter, this channel's here for the music. So I appreciate you guys sharing it, thumbs up, subscribing. I appreciate it. And hopefully I can get more interviews. I really wanted to talk to these musicians. So if anybody out there knows Peter, maybe I'll try to email him, and I would love to be able to interview him for the channel and talk to him. I'd really love to pick his brain on playing the guitar and hear his story and hear what he thinks about this album in a little bit more detail, because I'm really interested, you know, in reading about Peter or in watching some of the things on YouTube. He doesn't like to hear his recordings back, which a lot of people don't like. Once they do the record, they really don't want to go back and listen to their own recordings for whatever reason. Maybe you didn't play as good as you thought you could have played, or the tone of your guitar is not what you wanted it to be, or something like that, the way it was recorded. So I get that, but you know, I think in one of the interviews he was referring to the tone of his guitar, that he wasn't happy with that. And you know, in listening to this, the guitar sounds pretty decent. It's a pretty decent recording in my opinion. Now, again, that's all personal preference. If you're a guitar player, how you want it to cut through, and the tone that you want, the warmth that you want. And so I can imagine, you know, getting a recording like this and being like, yeah, that's not really what you know, if I knew I was recording it, I would have had more control over that, or what have you, the way it was recorded. But this to me is a special recording, because it really is them playing as they intended to play live for the fans, for the people that came to see them on these 2 nights. And there's no abbreviation. There's no like, oh, we got to get done in 7 minutes, or we got to be done in 6 minutes, or we can only fit 3 songs on a side or something like that. And I'm glad that to be honest with you, that this is available, you know, for around $100, because you get 5 records. And, you know, even though it would be nice to have a bigger booklet, that would raise the price of the box set quite a bit. So these kind of box sets for me are fine. And you know, I get there's a little insert in there. It's got some liner notes and pictures. It's a 1-page insert. But I've got 5 records of fantastic music to listen to. It's like over 2 hours worth of music to sit here and listen to and enjoy. And for that, you know, for the price point on that, to me, that's worth every penny. So I would like to see more box sets come out like that, rather than some of these elaborate packages that just jack the price up by, you know, 2 or 3 times the price. And even though it's nice to have these hardback books and stuff, at the end of the day, most of the time you look at them a few times and you don't pick them back up. And I do like to read the liner notes when I'm listening to the record. I do like to have a booklet or something, but the music really is what it's all about for me, for the most part. The quality of the record, and being able to afford to buy these. And so this to me is a happy medium where I get 5 records and the price is fair. I'm gonna look on Amazon and see if they're still there, for those of you guys that are interested. So yeah, it's still available on Amazon for $99. So to me, it's a steal for the 5 records you get here. The playing on it's fantastic. The sound quality is great. The pressing is great. Yeah, you only get the 1 insert. It's a very simple box set, but man, I'd rather have more of these kind of box sets, to be honest, than some of these others personally. All right, folks, well, thank you for hanging out. I know it's been a long video. A lot of great music here. Peter Bernstein, Signs Live, box set, 5 LPs. Sounds fantastic. And a well spent money here, in my opinion. So we'll see you on the next video. Happy listening to all of you. Take care.